Hello, Flosstube. Good morning. My name is Veronica. Welcome to my channel. It's Veronica X Stitch and mostly about cross stitch. This is my Flosstube episode number 39. I've had a few new subscribers lately, so thank you for coming along and I hope you enjoy. I tried to film episode 39 last weekend, but as I was editing, I noticed it was complete crap, so I decided to throw it away and start again this weekend. Today is Saturday, October 30th, so I've got my Halloween shirt on. 2021. It's been about a month. I think my last video was in early October, so this is my October update. I've got 4 works in progress and a couple of haul new purchases. Not a whole lot this month, this video, but yeah. So let's get started. So my first project is, this is the Carramos Bestiary by Ingleside Imaginarium. Here's where it is compared to last time. This is a monthly stitch along where each month she releases a new ancient Greek mythical creature, and this is the October creature, Cerberus, the 3-headed dog. So I called him Fluffy from Harry Potter. This is on a 32 count Lugana in a nameless Fabric of the Month Club or Fabric of the Month Club exclusive from Color and Cotton. Lugana. I said Lugana. Yeah, it's early. I tend to film early in the morning because otherwise my kids are tearing up the house and I get a little bit of peace and quiet to myself. So, yeah. My next project, this is the one I was working on most recently. So, Carramos Bestiary, and so just to quickly share a little bit about our rotation. Every month, it's a monthly rotation. Every month I work on 2 projects from my WhipGo, Whip Bingo from brainchild of Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. So I'll link her channel below so you can learn more about it. So the two projects that she calls are, I give 6 days each. Then I work on my, well, not then, it's different. Order doesn't matter for me, but I also include 6 days on my a gift piece. If I don't have one, then it'll be my oldest piece. And then I work 6 days on my closest to a finished piece. So this is my closest to a finished piece. And the extra days, because 6 days times 4 is only 24. So the extra days I am doing whatever the heck I want. So for me this month, whatever the heck I want was just a few extra days on the last 2 pieces. So my closest to a finished piece, this is Totoro by LK Cross. I was hoping to get it done this round, but I didn't. So I still have little ways to go. But, so here's where he is at compared to last time. As you can see, I kind of did the border around his body. So I finished his feet and some of that darker tummy color. And then I'm filling in his tummy now. So it's kind of hard to tell because it's very similar color to the fabric. By the way, this fabric is a 32 count Lugana in taupe, and I don't think it's a hand dyed or anything. It's from 123 Stitch. So I don't know if you can tell where his belly's going, but just a little bit left, like down here, and then up here there's some, and then I have his shadow, which is all half stitch. So I think that's going to go a little quicker. But yeah, he's getting there. So cute. I love him. By the way, I calculate my closest to a finish just arbitrarily. I just look at the kind of stitched area and estimate what percentage I am done with that. So it's not an exact science. It is if it's full coverage, but most of my pieces aren't full coverage. Next, I have my gift piece. Which this one I spent like almost 2 weeks on. Sorry about the glare. It's going to be in a plastic bag. It says, oh, it's not too bad. Glory in the Morning by Crossed Wing Collection. And so this one, yeah, I spent, like I said, a little bit longer on this month. little bit more than 6 days. So as you can see, I finished mostly the big sunflower flower itself at the top. So quite a bit more than last month progress. This is on the piece that is cut and dyed specifically for this project by Crosswing. It's a 28 count linen. And what else? This was, I don't know, I never want to put this one down. It's so pretty. I love the colors, even the brown in the middle. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to hate filling in that center piece of the sunflower. And no, I loved it, and I didn't want to stop. So then I went down. I was like, okay, I'm going to just do this part, and then I'll finish it. And then I wanted to do the petals too. So there's still some back stitching. I don't know if you can tell, like, around some of them, because there's going to be leaves and a stem coming out. But yeah, every time I pull this out, I just love it. So I started this pretty recently. I think it was in the summer. I don't want to ramble too much about my starts and plans, but when I started my whip go, I'm aiming for a blackout on my whip go. Let me show you my board. So here's my whip go board where it is right now. There's only 4 spots left, and as you can see, everything else is colored green. The 2 for November and the 2 for December. I was going to do something where I set goals that were not time-based, so just like harder goals, like complete this project or complete this section, or and I did that for the first half of the year, and that was too stressful for me. I got it done each month, but it was too much, so I decided to instead change it to be the 6 days and changed up my rotation. But when I had that, my reward for each completed row, column, or diagonal was to start a new bath big arse project, and this is the only really big one that I started, this Crosswing collection piece. So I don't really want to have too many whips. I actually like being like a more monogamous stitcher, but I also love all the projects that I've started so far and that I'm working on lately. So I think this rotation is kind of working for me because it gives me a little taste of both. Like I can work on something a little bit longer if I want to, and I also get to mix it up and give the love to all my projects. So I'm going to continue with Whip Go next year and probably do something very similar where I kind of aim for a blackout, give myself easy goals, and just enjoy it because this is a hobby, right? We're here to have fun. Okay, next. Sorry if I'm talking fast, by the way. I normally film in the morning, like I said, and it's late morning, although my husband and kids stayed up lately too, but it's like 7:30, so they might start getting up soon. So I'm trying to get through a quick-ish video. Looks like I'm 8 minutes in now, so not too bad. But one more project to show, and then some haul. That's all. So my last project, this was a Whip Go piece for October, the castle, and it's also going to be in November and December too, I think. Definitely November, but I think you might have seen even when I flashed the board. I don't have it handy, but so this is the Castle by Teresa Wenzler, and I only spent, I think, the 6 days on this one, but I do enjoy it. So here is where it is at. So you can see there's that little section there. I started on some of the rocks above the tail. And yeah, so some more things about this piece. This is on Mercedes by Picture This Plus in a, I think, 36 count Lugana. I ordered 32, and I think it's like measures about 39 holes per inch. So I know hand dyeing shrinks it. It could have been 32 at one point, but I don't know. But it's fine because there's no beads, and it's just thicker, bulkier stitches. That's all. So, and I'm doing this with a blending filament kind of conversion that is on the Teresa Wenzler website. I'm not sure if you can see the sparkle, but it's basically only in the dragon, not the castle or the rocks, which blending filament's kind of a pain to work with. So I like the look in the end, and that's what I'm telling myself. But it's basically like a couple of things. One, it frays a lot, but two, it's like, well, I've already stitched that portion and now I have to stitch again. I think that's why a lot of people don't like back stitching too. It's like, okay, I'm done. Why do I have to go back and redo it? But I actually like back stitch because it brings the piece alive, and I actually backstitch most of my pieces as I go, which, as you can see, I even did that for the, well, maybe you can't see it, but I did it for the rocks and the parts of the things as I'm working on them. So, but yeah, it's almost like I have to go through it. Another time with the blending filament, I just stitch over the top leg with that filament. At first I was like actually mixing it in, but the blending filament doesn't last as long as the cotton, and it was fraying and making it really frustrating. So I recommend the going over it again if you ever do blending filament. And of course you can use the braids too, and that might even be easier, not sure. But anyway, moving on, I have some haul. So these are Fabric of the Month clubs. This is color and cotton in 28 count linen in petunia. It's nice pink. This was from my Crazy Annie's Fabric of the Month club. This was for what, September? August. So that's pretty. And then this is my very first Under the Sea Fabric of the Month club piece. This is Valkyrie, and I get it in a 32 count Lugana opal, which I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but so it's pretty. Next, just two patterns that I bought. I purchased both of these on eBay. It just happened to be from the same seller, but it was at different times. This is the, let me take it out of the bag. This is the, there's Teresa ones, there's both of them. This is the September 1999 Stitcher's World. It has Dragon Ride, which is one of the only ways you can, of course, all of her dragon pieces are discontinued, unfortunately. I think this is maybe a slightly better, oops, it's an article about her and slightly better picture of the finished piece, but it's, this is one of the only ways you can get it. I don't know if she ever released it in a leaflet. I know she did also release it on Patterns Online for a short time before she took all the dragons down, sadly. So all of her dragons are out of print. A lot of her pieces you can still buy on Patterns Online, though, which is kind of nice. And then her website's still up, which has a bunch of free stuff still. So it's not like there's any shortage of Teresa Wenzler stuff out there, but I just really like the dragons. So I also bought the Minstrel. Yeah, these unfortunately weren't cheap, but they weren't too crazy expensive either on eBay. Sorry, yeah. That's all I have in terms of stitching. Life updates, it's Halloween weekend, so we'll take the kids out trick-or-treating tomorrow. I like handing out the candy because it's fun for me, but my husband will take the kids out around the neighborhood. One of my kids is, actually, let me show you a picture of their costumes. One is the samurai, the other is a person in a jetpack. So, lastly, I wanted to talk a little bit about elections, because if you're in the United States, you might have a state or local or both election on Tuesday, November 2nd. And I want to encourage you to do some homework about who's on your ballot and go out and vote, because so many people skip this election. There's no national elections this year because it's an odd year, right? So you won't see president or senator or a representative, but you might, not every area has one, but you might have state and local. And where I live, we have city council and school board. And school board, things have just gotten nuts lately. We've got people who are running who they don't have kids in the district. They aren't and never were educators. The only reason they're running is because they feel so strongly about critical race theory and social emotional learning. And one of them even sex ed, like comprehensive sexual education. You know, it's just nuts. Like, these people have no experience whatsoever. They're not qualified. And it's kind of scary because a lot of people support them too. So I'm going out and voting for sure for the qualified people. I encourage you to do the same where you live, because your voice actually counts more in the smaller elections. You know, your vote actually has more weight. This is assuming, of course, that it is okay for you to vote. You know, not everybody can. You know, if you're if you're not here, a U.S. citizen, or if you're not in the U.S. Well, I guess if you are a U.S. citizen and not living in the U.S., you can vote by absentee, in which case please do that. But I guess my point is just vote if you can. Do your homework and vote wherever you can. So that's my TED Talk for the day. Thanks for watching. It was a shorter video, kind of, sort of. But I'll see you next time, and always think critically. Bye!